Welcome to Being at Home with George. I'm excited mainly because we're back at home. Been on the road quite a bit. And so actually, we've been recording these, or we didn't record 1 week. And had we recorded it, it would have been on the road with George, not so much at home with George. And so I'm excited. And I've been busier than normal, even though I'm really busy with the book. The book came out May 2nd. And I just got back from California after being out in California for 8 days. And so actually this month I'll be home maybe 2 weeks out of the month. So I know I go to New York for 5 days and then I'm in Copenhagen for a week. So it's really exciting to be home, but I also feel the need to rest or recover, slow things down because things are going really fast. I suspect my life is normally at a faster pace than normal, but with the book and everything else happening right now, it's at a lightning pace. It's just really, really fast. So I feel the need to find pockets of stillness. And I borrowed that from Maria Popova, and she used to have the brain pickings now, and it's called the Maganillion. And in her 10-year anniversary, she talked about finding pockets of stillness. And so I'm going to change that a little bit. And for me, it's important for me to find pockets of stillness and spaciousness, or finding space to just be without having to fill it with anything, but just a space to be in my body no matter what position or posture it's in. So to me, it's about slowing things down. And it's interesting because I'm going through the day and I'm getting these hints of what I'm feeling. And I was thinking about this today, and I was driving to an appointment and I was running late. Then I got a phone call that told me that the appointment was even 15 minutes earlier than anticipated. And they said they reached out to me, but I don't remember getting the message. And of course, that's another sign of being so busy and having so many emails and whatnot coming through that are not really present. And I saw myself, and when that happens, I typically speed up internally. And then, of course, if I'm driving my car, then I'm driving my car and I'm in a hurry. And I had this idea or this voice telling me we need to slow things down. We need to go into the eye of the hurricane. We need to find that stillness. And in that stillness, I can create space. And it's interesting because I was driving and I was about to get into another lane because I was in a hurry and the car in front of me was going below the speed limit. So my tendency is just to get around them and to get by them. And something told me that I needed to just slow down and just take a moment. And then sure enough, there was a car right in my blind spot. And if I would have swerved into the other lane, I would have hit the car. And I suspect that we make a lot of mistakes because we're in a hurry. We don't slow things down. We get sped up by the environment or some kind of conditions. Usually it's schedules or just being too busy and trying to crowd too much in a small space. And just that little pause there prevented me from having an accident. And my suspicion is a lot of times when I'm sped up and I have a lot going on, and someone were to ask me a question or engage me, my tendency would be I don't have time and just blow them off or just give them a curt answer and not just pause and say, okay, wait a minute. Just take a moment here, slow down. Or, what do you need to do? You don't have to react to everybody else. I can stop, be in the eye of the hurricane and just be in that ease, that space, and take a little bit more time to really think about, well, what am I doing? And how do I want to respond to them? Because once I say something or once I do something, and without the space between stimulus and response, without that space, it's usually I make a mistake or I forget something or I'm curt. And so this idea of just slowing down is really important because I'm thinking of, I know there's playoffs going on in basketball, but in football, the Hall of Fame coach, Vince Lombardi, he said that fatigue makes cowards of us all. And I believe that to be true. And sometimes the cowardness or the cowardliness is not paying attention and not taking the time to do something right, not to create some space and to pause, and so that we can achieve something and do something, or just come to the realization that I'm really tired and I need to rest. And sometimes it's not possible to rest, like just go off and rest, but can I rest in the moment? Can I rest in the breath? Can I be still and know and just pause and say, okay, let's take a couple of breaths here and just be here, and then think about what I need to do next. And then realize, as I've said many times, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And in my case, I got to the appointment, and if I lose 5 or 10 minutes, who cares? At least I'm alive and I'm here. So the whole point here is to understand that we have this ability to be aware. And what I'm suggesting this week is that we become aware of the fact that we need to slow things down. We need to slow our minds down. We need to slow our activity down so we're not getting sped up by people, places, and things, or even our own internal perception and dialogue. That we need to slow down and find pockets of stillness and spaciousness.